Hi, my name is Miss Swenson, and today we're going to talk about how to write in the counting on our music. The first step is to look at the time signature. In this case, it's 4/4. The top number 4 means that there will be 4 beats in a measure. Now the bottom 4 is a little bit more complicated, but I'll show you a way that I remember. I think of it as a fraction, and if I put a 1 over whatever's in the bottom, which in this case is a 4, I think of it as a fraction, 1/4 or a quarter, which reminds me that a quarter note will be 1 beat. Therefore, in every measure, we could have 4 quarter notes. So if we were to count this, we would just put 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that would be fine if we just had those quarter notes there, but oftentimes we have other types of notes. For example, what if we added an 8th note? What would we put under the second 8th note? Well, remember that we have 4 beats in a measure, so we can't go to 5. What we need to do is divide our 8th notes so that we can subdivide. Now we're going to separate the 8th notes and put a 1 and. I like to use a plus sign for the and because it's a little bit easier than writing out the word and. This means that we're subdividing. So 1 and is going to fit into 1 beat. We put an and by the 4 and now we also want to put ands in with the other notes. So we have to know that 2 8th notes equals 1 quarter note. So if 1 and is over there, 1 and must be on the other side. So let's add those ands to our quarter notes. My rule that helps me is to think of the 8th notes as separate. We separate the 1 and the and. And on the quarter notes, I think of them as together. 1 and is put all together. So now we have 4 beats in a measure, and we've added the ands that help us subdivide and count carefully. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we're going to use the same time signature, and we're going to add a new example. This is going to have a couple different notes. First, you see there we have a quarter note, then 2 8th notes, and then a half note. Now we remember that there are 4 beats in a measure. So what helps me is to write out what will be in the measure. For this it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that way once I've completed one of those I can cross it off and know what I've done so far. So we're going to start with the quarter note, and the quarter note are together. So we're going to put 1 and. Then I can cross that off my list because we've already used that. Next would be 2 and we're going to separate those because they're 8th notes. So we've already used 1 and 2 and. Now we need to know where to put 3 and 4 and. Well, we're going to be doing the same thing we did with the 8th notes and the quarter notes. We're going to divide the half note into smaller beats, or subdivide. So our half note is going to equal 2 quarter notes. And if each of our quarter notes is 1 and, we'll put in 1 and, 2 and, then our half note is going to equal the same thing, 1 and 2 and. Now we've already used 1 and 2 and. We need 2 numbers and 2 ands. So we're going to go over and see what numbers are next, and that's 3 and 4 and. So now we've completed the measure by using all of our numbers and ands. I hope this has helped you learn how to count in your music. We'll also have some additional examples up to demonstrate counting in other time signatures. Thanks for watching.